You're a 168 fighter, and I know it sounds crazy, but if he were to like turn around and be like, "Hey, yeah, I'll fight David,"
I'll be dope. I have a lot of respect for Terence Crawford, and just because I want to fight, if we would fight, doesn't mean we have hard feelings for each other. He's definitely a great fighter. I'd love to fight him.
I need to get. I would love to get it. I just don't think he'll come up. Well, I mean, I'm not even at 168 no more.
Right.
But I mean, I would love to fight Crawford, or even spar. I would love to spar Crawford.
When you see a tweet that says, "Hey, can you make 168, David from Turkey?" Can he still make 168? You seeing him now training at second fight at 175?
Yeah, I think he's super young still. I think definitely, I don't think, it would be a little bit hard, but I think he could definitely do 168. We didn't move to 175 because of the weight. We moved because of the opportunity.
Crawford versus David Benavidez, the fight that everyone wants to witness next. And guess what? Jose Benavidez Sr. indicated that David can drop back to 168 pounds to face Crawford.
He was, referring to maybe if David could go and fight Crawford. Like, that's crazy.
To be honest, that would be even an embarrassment to me to say, David's too big for Crawford. Now we said that, I don't think, it would be a little bit hard, but I think he could definitely do 168. We didn't move to 175 because of the weight. We moved because of the opportunity.
David will have difficulties, but he is capable of overcoming them. The reason he stepped up to 175 wasn't because of the weight. It was about opportunities. But you know how this game goes when Turki Alalshah comes in with the big Saudi money. Any boxer finds a method to gain weight.
Can you still make 168?
To be honest with you, man, let Terence Crawford live. That's his weight class.
Okay.
I lost interest in 168 a long time ago. I know that we could get offered a lot of money to go down to 168, but I'm more comfortable at 175.
Even tweeted that David can still make 168. So, don't be surprised if Crawford and Benavidez face off next year. Because when Turkey gets involved, anything is possible. Add in the styles, Crawford's intelligence and movement versus Benavidez's tremendous power. And you have a fight that is as much chess as it is violent.
If you were at 168, when we think about anybody at 168 outside of Canelo, the first name that comes to anybody's mind is David Benavidez. What about the potential for a fight like that?
Oh, like I said, man, that's a big dude. You know what I mean? He ain't even at 168. When you look
right not now, it's at 175, yeah.
He probably can't even make 168 no.
Are tremendous. Legacy on one side, a proven statement on the other, and guaranteed viewership and pay-per-view purchases. If promoters lock this up, expect a massive training camp, some sound weight control, and a fight night that no boxer wants to miss. Keep your notifications enabled. This one could go from rumor to reality faster than you realize.
Alalshah posted on social media asking if David Benavidez is still capable of making it down to 168. Now, we're not sure if this little tease that Turkey made was targeted as a hint for a future fight between Crawford and Benavidez or Canelo versus Benavidez.
As we were getting excited about Crawford against Benavidez, Blue Blood Sports TV stepped in and gave David Benavidez a complete reality check. And he didn't hold back. He basically said, "Hold on, champ. You can't call Crawford an opportunist when you begged for the Canelo fight." And he's correct. You can't change history simply because the spotlight missed you by an inch.
What Terence Crawford achieved is massive compared to yourself that people say technically should have been at 175. So you cannot discredit Terence Crawford and say he's an opportunist, because this is the same version Canelo Alvarez that you wanted to fight. And you would have wanted to get all the credit in the world for beating this Canelo, and you wouldn't have wanted to hear people talk about you was an opportunist and you fought a version of Canelo Alvarez that was washed up.
He has spent years calling for Canelo, chasing him down divisions like a Pokemon. And now that But has pulled it off, people are saying, "Oh, that Canelo version was old." Come on, brother. That's like claiming you didn't want the cake after seeing someone else devour it. And look, I understand. Benavidez should have had the fight years ago. WBC politics had a negative impact on him, no doubt. However, dismissing Crawford right now is purely emotional.
Don't discredit Terence Crawford's victory. That's nasty work, bro. And you one of my guys, you know that. And shout out to your father and your brother. Don't let these people put batteries in your back for you to discredit Terrence Crawford victory. Don't let it happen, bro. We know a disservice was done to you. We know you should have been got the Canelo Alvarez fight. We already know that. But don't say this was a washed up version of Canelo Alvarez, because you would have accepted this same fight and wanted all the credit.
To accomplish something that no one else would. Move up 21 pounds and confront a man that everyone else was afraid of. And if David actually intends to drop down to 168 for Crawford, I accept that. That's courageous. But until that bell rings, let's not pretend Crawford didn't completely rewrite boxing physics. But whether you love or hate him, made history. The only thing opportunistic about it was his impeccable timing, which made everyone else appear insignificant.
So you would have fought the same version of Canelo Alvarez and expected all the credit in the world. So you can't discredit Terrence Crawford and say his fight and beating him was opportunist.
Just when we thought the Bud vs. Benavidez saga was heating up, we get a completely new plot twist. Team Crawford claims it wants $100 million for his next fight. Yes, you heard that correctly. $100 million. Bro, it isn't a purse. That is a Powerball dream. We all love Bud, but if that's the price, he may have to battle Thanos at this point. Because unless Turkey Alalshik starts printing money in Riyadh, who will sign that check?
I'm going to start off with what Bernie of Team Crawford said, right? He says, quote, I think Terrence Crawford is done. If it ain't $100 million to go down and fight those guys like Janabek, Edislandi Lara, and Carlos Adames, let them guys do all the hard work. $100 million? What you think you got? Kelsey Grammer? Chelsea Clinton?
Let's get real. This move says, I've mastered boxing. Now, pay me like a legend. And I get it. Crawford just cooked Canelo, made him look like he was buffering in for 1,000. So, of course, he feels untouchable. Though when you start saying names like Janbek and Carlos Adams for $100 million, it's no longer boxing. That is premium fantasy mode. Still, you must respect the confidence. Bud says, if I'm stepping in that ring again, I'm getting generational money or I'm chilling with generational wealth. And honestly, I can't be mad about it. He has earned his piece. He paid his dues. Now it is up to the boxing community to decide whether they can afford it.
Now, I'm not mad at it. Crawford's team, they want $100 million. Crawford needs $100 million to perform or to get back in the ring, or he might retire. Then, in my opinion, if that is your real asking price, you might have to retire, because no one needs to see a Canelo rematch. And fights like Lara, Janabek, and Adames.
Shortly after Crawford delivered the I want 100 million bomb, he went into full story mode about how the whole Canelo idea came about. And this bit is insane, buddy. It turns out it wasn't a random money grab. It was Bill Haney. Yeah, Devin's father, who actually sowed the Canelo seed before Crawford even faced Spence. Imagine you're in the gym. Dill simply walks up, like, forget Spence, Bud, chase Canelo. And Bud is thinking, man, that dude's big. Fast forward, he looks again and says, hold up, we are the same height. That's when the light bulb goes off.
Oh, bro, for real? I thought this was after.
No, this is before.
Crawford Spence won.
He said, man, don't even stop chasing Errol Spence. He was like, man, the guy to focus and chase is Canelo.
Really?
He was like, man, you can beat him. He was like, man, Spence, Canelo. And like every time I see him, he'd be like, Canelo.
To be honest, that is Bud's beauty. He goes away from belief, not ego. Dude analyzed Canelo's game as if it were homework for a championship thesis. Bill Haney's talk clearly had a positive impact on him. When Canelo's team mentioned and that Crawford does not sell, but basically said, cool, then don't say my name. I am the ticket now. That's classic Bud. Calm down now. However, the gentle tone indicates that someone will be roasted later.
You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, we the same height, around the same size. Like, he a little thicker, okay. I'm starting to look into it now because he already planted the seed, but now I'm like looking into it. Like, let me see what Bill
talking about.
Bill look at now, what he see. So I'm, okay. This is what he talking about. Cause he like, man, he's not a big dude. He just kept saying he's not a big dude and you can beat him. And then when I looked into it, I'm like, damn, Bill right. Yeah.
You thought the Canelo notion was crazy. Just wait till you hear what happened behind the scenes. But is out here doing 9-hour discussions in Saudi Arabia, sitting in a back room like he's attempting to unlock a secret boss level in a video game. The man stated that he was alone, surrounded by people speaking in another language, texting, calling, and whispering, and he was simply sitting there thinking, I just want to talk to Turkey. But no, they said he couldn't since Turkey is his friend and might be lenient with him. Imagine being too likable to negotiate your own agreement. That's when I recognized he wasn't your average warrior. This is a man who runs his own business as if he were the CEO of Team Crawford Enterprises, but stood his ground for 9 hours, with no lawyer or middleman, until both sides left looking half satisfied and half broken.
They brought me in there, then we went to the little back room, and we was there for like 9 hours.
Dang.
Going back and forth.
Dang.
You know, they not budging, I'm not budging. I'm in that mug like this. I'm like,
By yourself.
by myself. And they like, and they calling Turkey. He's not. they talking in their language and texting, and we going back and forth.
When you realize it's real. And he stated that wasn't the deal they or I wanted, but it was done. You could literally feel the chess move click. Okay. This man did more than simply arrange a fight. He also secured a legacy clause. Let's be honest, when people think Crawford did it for money, they should stop. But actually asked, who is fighting for free? And he's correct. We wouldn't clock into work for exposure, so why should he? The guy has been blackballed, misjudged, and told he doesn't sell. And yet, here he is bargaining on another continent, pursuing greatness as if it owed him rent. You've got to respect that, but is no longer merely fighting opponents. He is fighting systems, narratives, and time itself. And he's continuing winning each round.
You gotta get the deal done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can see Turkey when you get the deal done. And I'm like, oh, man, listen, y'all talking about ain't making sense.
Yeah.
You know
Did you have a number though?
Yeah.
Or you kind of had a number like, I want to be in this range,
Yeah,
right here?
I had a number, and it was just like, they like, man, listen, we gonna have to talk. so we all in that motherfucker for like, you know what I mean, 9 hours, dog.
9 hours, bro.
I'm telling you, I'm
Straight?
straight.
The wild part, right? Crawford versus Benavidez is not just another matchup. It is a full-fledged power play in boxing's new era. We have legacy versus youth, intelligence versus violence, and a lot of pride at stake. Whether it's 168 or 175, both of these guys are pursuing the next mountain. But here is the true question. Who really wants it more? Is Bud still hungry after defeating Canelo? Or is Benavidez prepared to show that he's more than simply the guy who didn't receive the call? The world is watching. And if Turki Alalshik tosses that roll check on the table, it's game on. So I'm throwing it to you. Who wins this one? The technician or the monster? Please share your ideas in the comments below. Let's get this argument started, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Fight Motive. More fire will be coming your way soon. See you in the next one.